And good Sunday evening. We are back. It is the IBB10 Sunday vibe. We all know what the IBB10 is, and tonight I will be in bed by 10. New start time, 8 till 9 now. So you're getting us a little bit later, but gives you time to sit down, get a cuppa and get a coffee. So I am joined by the usual suspects. Mr. McCaffrey, how are we and where are we?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Lee. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm up in the mountains in the desert, still keeping the pod going. No matter what place, what time, I'll be here.
International this weekend. I love it.
Yeah.
And down to my left-hand corner, Mr. Billy Wood. How are we, sir? How's the weekend been?
Good. Done my Christmas tree.
Very nice.
There you go. It's been an interesting weekend.
I'm sure we will hear about it.
Fun today. Not as crazy as being sent off should be. It was actually quite funny. I'll probably get in trouble for saying that, actually, when I had that it's funny.
Maybe.
But yeah, no, it's been a good weekend. Great fight. Like Hastings yesterday was brilliant. Obviously, a good win, up to 5th in the form guide table now, with Dave at the wheel.
Nice.
So they're doing great. Today it was like, we'll talk about it in a bit, but yeah, we killed ourselves. Yeah. Absolutely killed ourselves. But yeah, no, good to be here. And look, I'm not up in the mountains. I'm in the forest where I live. And yeah, more scenery, Lee, eh?
Exactly. It's what we like to see. And we are joined by this week's guest. We're joined by Godalming manager Mo. How are we?
Lee, really well. Really well. I wish you had a few quid like the two cronies you've got on with you. Phoenix, Arizona. Look at that Christmas tree in the background. Like, crikey, you got a few quid.
Fake, mate. Don't worry.
Listen, you're rocking it well, Billy. You're rocking it well.
Fine, so. Fake tree, loads of lights. Wrap it up. Hope for the best. Happy days.
Listen, you're rocking it well. So, no, delighted to be here. Thank you for having me on.
No, Mo, it's an absolute pleasure. So, let's start it. I'm going to go straight in with the first question. Mo, how did you get into
management, and where did you start your career to leading up to now being in charge of Godalming? Good question. I had no playing career. I've got no playing CV. I've got no playing back. I played, but at no level. But I went to a very good sports university. I went to Loughborough, and that's where I started. So I actually lived with the chairman of the university football club, and he, that was a relationship that blossomed. I'm still in touch with him today, and it was a bug, right? It was a bug that caught me, and got into it then. And fast forward a decade on, I was coaching at grassroots level near where I live in Surrey, and I applied for the job at Godalming as under-18 coach, actually, and I didn't get the role. I didn't get it. But one of the coaches of the first team at the time said, "Look, I really like the look of your application. Why don't you come in and do some opposition scouting," which is unheard of, really, at step 6 in non-league, but I took the opportunity, I took the punt, and within 4 weeks I was taking sessions with the first team. And 5 years later, I'm manager of the first team, right? So sometimes you just got to take your chances. You've got to put yourself in the right positions. You've got to graft. Don't get me wrong. I feel I've grafted and I've by my nature is I love learning. I'm a sponge. I'm very, respectful of those who have been there, seen it, done it. And it's got me to where I am today. And it's been a long journey, but I've loved it. I've loved the journey. We are where we are today.
No, nice, absolutely. And just one more thing to say. Weekend just gone. See, you got a 1-0 win to keep the momentum going. What sort of game was it? Because obviously it's against a Dorking. Is it under 21 side?
Yeah, it's like their academy side. It's how they blood the kids, isn't it? Yeah. Dorking.
So how was that playing against them?
It wasn't a spectacle. Let me put it that way. It wasn't a spectacle. They that's the third time we played them this year, and they've got better and better. I've got a lot of time for Dorking, for Charlie, for what they try and do, and they gave us a horrible afternoon. And in the end, it was one moment of quality. There was one moment of quality, and I think I'm right in saying it was our 5th 1-0 win of the season. So that probably tells you what we're about. Probably tells you how we operate, how we set up, how we're drilled, how I like to probably coach. But full credit to Dorking. Full credit to Dorking. They gave us a really tough afternoon. I think we won it 2 or 3 minutes on time. A draw was probably a fair result, if I'm being honest. But we got over the line, and look, a lot of people have said to me in the last 24 hours, that's a sign. This phrase that you goes around in football. Sign of a good team. You win when you don't play well. Maybe so, but
win's a win, Mo. Trust me. Like, fucking hell, win's a win.
Absolutely. And if I can rewind, I don't know if you guys know, but if I can rewind the week back, last Saturday we were at Reigate and we were 2-0 down after 30-35. Absolutely under the pump from Dale, and who I've got another guy I've got a lot of time for, a lot of respect for. Under the pump, we're 2-0 down, and we won it in the last minute 3-2. It's resilience. Tuesday night, we're at Billingshurst in the League Cup quarter-final. We're 4-0 down after 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
And you're thinking, right, can the ground open me up? And you just want to get out of here. Yeah. And we ended up winning it on penalties, right? So the group that I'm lucky enough to have has oodles and oodles of fortitude, of resilience, of desire, and so actually a 1-0 win, maybe in lots of ways, was quite nice just to not to have the nightmare that we've had in the last week. But it like Billy said, good win, a win that just keeps our nose in front of the chasing pack, and we'll take it.
Yeah, nice. End of the day, isn't it? I think, look, Mo, I was going to jump in here. I think if you look at what you've done, like obviously I come across you last year. We had a good chat. We stayed in touch and obviously went to Lansing as well. And I think the one thing when I looked at your side, not just when we played you, but other teams played you, you were very, very hard to score against, very hard to beat, right? When you went into last season and obviously did well, but didn't go up. Going into this year, knowing that people will know about your players, know what you're about as well. So there will obviously be there's people take your players, sometimes even yourself as a manager / coach, you could be looked at as well by other teams. What was it in the summer that you sat down and thought, right, we did really well. We probably performed better than people expected us to this year. We had an okay budget. Obviously, I'm not going to swear on here, but me and you shared what our budgets were, right? And we were very open about that. You did really well last year with an okay budget. What made you sit down in the summer and think, right, okay, this year, because by the way, and I don't want to jinx you, you're absolutely fucking flying, and it's great to see. It's always good to see good people win. So I actually look out for your results every week and see how you get on, and it's lovely to see you kind of still always churning, no matter what, always churning these results. What is it for you, though, going back to my question, in the summer you sat down and went, right, this is what I need to do to make that next step, having that patience and knowing that didn't do it myself this year, what am I going to do next year?
It's a good question, Billy. So if you look at the current top 5 in the league, right now as things stand, 3 of that 5 were in last year's playoffs. Yeah, right. Ourselves, Infinity, and Arundel. So when we sat down and looked at it in the summer, the absolute key thing was retention and stability. Those are the 2 words I'd use. and we kept hold of 98, 99% of the squad.
Brilliant.
Everyone understood me. I understood them. And it was, look, you can never do the same again because football moves forward, opposition teams move forward. But we were very confident that if we did 9 out of 10 things the same, would be there or thereabouts. Now, we've brought in 1 or 2 that have really helped us, that have pushed us forward. But to directly answer your question, Billy, and I think this is really important for me to transmit, for Moshe as a coach. I've said this to Mike before. I'm not afraid to lose. Win, lose, or draw, it's football, it's life.
Yeah.
And I think we have a culture within our changing room, within our club, that if you do the work, if you prepare, if you're humble, if you're honest, if you graft, you'll eventually get your rewards.
Yeah.
Right? And look, we're still a long way from getting our rewards, but we've kept that on from last year. We've built on it. And like I say, I'm not afraid to lose. I'm not afraid to get beaten. It's okay. It's life. It's football. And I just think sometimes in football, especially at our level, teams can get hung up sometimes on. You can get caught up in your own importance, and we try not to. We try not to do that.
Do you think
it's for us?
Yeah, sorry, Mo, to cut in. Do you think with that, because losses, the first people think about, and I've been very guilty of it, and Mike maybe as well, is like, oh, okay, I'm going to get battered on social media. Like, am I going to get battered? Like, what are they going to say? Like, you know, when you do lose, right? Because look, we've all won games of football. We've all lost games of football. It is what it is. It's part and parcel of it. But do you think that sometimes that ego a little bit is because how toxic sometimes like social media can be in Sussex football? Like it can be a fire, like whether it's the fake accounts, we all know they don't really mean fuck all, or it can just be the snipey people who say things like myself. Like I'm always quite outspoken as well. But like, is it sometimes thinking, fucking hell, like lost today, or you know, we scraped one today, or the referee gave us one today, who's going to kick up a fuss today? You know, like, have you ever felt that, Mo? Has it been a humble guy? Like, do you really pay attention?
I'll give you 2 sides of the coin to that, right? My direct answer is no. I pay no attention to it because I'm not afraid to lose. It doesn't matter to me, right? But let me say this. I think this is really important. There's only 18 of us in our league now, managers who truly understand, feel, live it, breathe it. And my only sympathy, my only empathy is to those 17 others that are my colleagues.
Yeah.
So I'll give you some examples. Like when you were going through the nonsense of going to Lancing and all that stuff that was going on.
Yeah.
The only thing that was going on in my head was, how do you know what's going on in Billy Wood's head? He's the gaffer. He lives his life like only 17 or 18 other guys in the league can understand. You don't understand it. There's no chance you understand what Billy Wood, the manager, is going through. So if he's ambitious or if he wants to go up a level, how you can't empathize with that. I can empathize with it. I go through the same things that you were going through at the time. Let me give you another example. Craigie Stewart, top man, right? Top manager, top human being. We played them this year, and the day after, he relinquished his role or he was sacked. I don't know the ins and outs fully, but I spoke to him, and Craig was upset, right? Because he'd given everything to that club, and in my mind, he was ousted by something that was bigger than him, that was wrong. So he as a person, as a manager, can say, actually, I've been done by the external noises, and I think that's wrong. Because again, I come back to it, only 18 or 19 of us can understand truly what it's like. And I'll give you one more example, because while I'm on a roll, right? And another manager that I really respect, and I think he's doing great things, Tommy Haddon at Ringmer, right? And I know he's got the YouTube, the Instagram stuff and the TikTok stuff, but only he understands his pressures. Why is he not allowed to be on social? Like, he's going to get shot for it, and he does, and we speak often. But I guess my message here, Billy, to your question is, us 18 or 19, we bleed it, we live it. Our families, our partners live it and bleed it and feed it. If I allowed those trolls or individuals to get the better of me, then I'm not a manager anymore. Then I'm just like any other person playing Football Manager, right? And I like to live my life in a way that's very different to that. But I want to shout out my managers, right? Those gaffers who are doing the job. Another one I want to call out, Alex Harris. What a lovely man, right? Alex Harris, what a lovely man.
Good guy.
And I feel for him. I feel for him because only he knows what he went through to try and do the best for his football club, right? It's not anyone else's business, in my opinion.
No, but I think this is what I talk about, the loudness of socials. Look, don't get me wrong. The wise man says it. He's right. He's right, man.
Wise man.
He's right. I think when we met Mo first time, I actually said that. I said, Mo's just so articulate and calm with what he says. I wish I was working with him. But I just think even Alex, I've talked about Alex Harris. He was my assistant manager, and I'm sure he'll never be bothered about me sharing stuff like this because he's really passionate and caring. I'm telling you, I can detach a little bit from social. I can be the character and then detach from that and be myself and not really worry about it and actually just ignore Twitter for a day or two and then come back to it and see what's happened. But I could imagine when you're losing big, and like I was at Lancing, the same Alex as this season at Upfield, and it's still continuing, and I'm sure we'll talk about that in a bit as well. But it's like a massive weight on your shoulders. So you're right, Mo. Look at having that compassion and care for your fellow manager. And it's huge. It's huge. It's like going to when you go to Oakwood and the chairman's there. He's pouring a pint, then he's taking the team, and then he's a compassion for that as well. All the jobs that he has to do to keep his little his little club that he loves running, right? And I just think while social media is such a great tool and it gives us a voice here, it gives managers a voice, it gives teams an opportunity to get more punters through the door and make more money and get commercial sponsorships and what have you. We've always got to stay in the knowledge that not everyone that says something on social media is right, us included. I called Lockwood poor last week, and I'll stick by that. But they obviously upset the chairman. Yeah, right. Upset him massively, and he started tweeting about it. But I'm only going based on what people have told me about how they play or what's been going on. I don't know the ins and outs, but a team that concedes X amount of goals over X amount of games is either fucking amazing, good, average, poor, very poor, awful. Right? It's just you're on a meter. So I just think, and this is a bit of a thing out here for us as a podcast, is we're going to say stuff that people aren't going to like. Mike more than me, maybe more than Mike. Lee's the nice one out of the three. But we're going to say stuff, and it's not always going to be right. We're going to have an opinion, and we might be completely wrong.
Is he for real?
Yes,
we
mate.
might be wrong.
He's more controversial all day long.
All right, okay. But we may be wrong. We may be wrong. But football is a game of opinions. And I think what we should do really as individuals and as people is still share your opinion, still have a care on it. But if you're going to attack someone direct, maybe have a chat with them afterwards, or maybe have a chat. Or if you've got something to say, it's going to be controversial. Pick up the phone. It's okay to.
No, I agree. Mo, how are you, pal?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. I'm very well. I wish I was living your life, Mike, but we can't all do it, I'm afraid.
Mate, I'm the loneliest guy in the world. I'm sitting here in regards to Stefanos, by the way. I'm in the Arizona desert, so I am the loneliest guy in the world. So there we go. So if anyone wants to swap jobs with me, totally up to you guys. It's all good. But anyway, Mo, firstly, thanks for being such a supporter, not only of this brand, of the SNLF brand and everything we've done, mate. You've been amazing. Everyone I speak to you talks about you being a class guy. I've been there. I've seen the hospitality. I've met you in person. You've done brilliantly. But I don't want to talk about you. I want to talk about, you've mentioned you've had 5 1-0 wins. You've come from 4-0 down to win on penalties, come from 2-0 down to win. You talked about resilience in your squad. I want to talk about the characters in your players. What did you look for to go and get that squad, that team together that grinds out these results, that sits you on top of the league with what? Was it now 55, 56 games and you've only lost 3? Is that right?
Yeah, this is the
because that is some kind of stupid stat for a team that's, obviously didn't go up as well last year as well, unluckily. So what are you looking for in those players?
It's a great question. It's a great question, and again, I'll answer it in two facets. When I got the role, when I was lucky enough to get the role last summer, I looked at who we're facing. So look, I know Wisey's popped up on here, and Wisey's another one I've got so much time for, and I played against Wisey's teams before. So I'm looking at right. What do I need? I need a group that's got three ingredients, right? 3 ingredients that I'm looking for. 1, humble. It's really, really important to me. Are you humble? Are you a good character that truly, truly understands what it means to play for Godalming Town Football Club? Because we're a humble football club. 1, are you humble? 2, do you have quality? Clearly, that every football manager is going to ask for quality. And 3, and I use this word with my players all the time, are you emotionally intelligent enough to have a relationship with me, with the supporters, with the committee, with your fellow players? So if you can tick all 3 of those boxes, you're welcome in, right? And we take recruitment really seriously. Like I said, I think to Billy's first question, we were lucky enough to get our recruitment relatively good last summer. We've retained most of that group this summer. We've added 2 or 3 who have just given us a little bit more. But it's those 3 things. And I like to think that those 3 reflect me and the management staff that run through brick walls for me as well.
Football is it more important how they represent themselves in regards to the philosophy that you want as opposed to the end result?
Neither, Mike. I would say, actually, I'd strip it back one more. If you are unable to represent yourself as a good bloke, you're not for us.
I like that.
Right. I can't stress enough, like, it's so important to me. I'd rather lose than have the name that Mo and his mob are a bunch of what. Yeah. I'd rather lose.
Yeah.
Right. It's so important for me to win in the right way. Right. If we do all the things, if we win in the right way, fantastic. And when and if we lose, the same. Like, and some people have said to me in the last year, like, "Oh, Mo, that's nonsense. You're not part. That's not football." And I beg to differ. I beg to differ because I believe it can be done in the right way. And for me, the right way is to have a bit of dignity, have a bit of class, have a bit of substance. You know, if you lose, take it on the chin, man. Like, you're a man, take it on the chin. Why have you lost? It's down to you. It's not down to anyone else, right? So all of these things are important to me.
I do love that. And Mo, I'm going to put you on the spot now because I've got to go to the little boys' room because these Phoenix beers are going through me quick, right? Who's the top 3 threats to your league title?
Who's the top 3? Look, I'll be as honest as I can. The best footballing team in our division are Billingshurst. Eddie's done a brilliant job with that with his group, and he's also
excited, isn't they? Going forward,
and he's a gentleman, by the way. Like, he's an absolute gentleman. He's got a great coaching staff. He's got a great team. They embarrassed us on Tuesday night. Embarrassed us. They pulled our pants down, right?
How did you pull that out of the bag? How did you do that?
Well, I've got to say, so look, they had a man sent off after 25 minutes, and that helped us. And then We knocked on the door, and eventually we got in, right? But they're a fantastic side. I think they're better than last year. Infinity, Sean is an experienced man. He knows what he's doing. He's clever. He's smart. They've got an all-court side, I like to call them. They'll play, they'll fight you, they'll go long, they'll go short. Very, very good side. And the third one I'm gonna go for. You three might disagree, because I think Arundel. I've got a lot of time for Arundel and Joss and what he's doing there. I think Worthing have got great young side, but there's one in particular that I have to call out, and they always have a right good go at us, and I've got so much time for their gaffer, is Reigate Priory. I love what they're doing. I think he's got a brilliant squad. He's got no budget. I watched the podcast he did with you guys, and I didn't even know. I speak to Dale quite often, right? Even I didn't know that they've had to prove that they're going to be self-sufficient, and the club's relatively hands-off in terms of them trying to achieve stuff. So when I look at Reigate, I've got the early utmost admiration. I went to school in Reigate, so the town has I have a love for the town. But Billy and Infinity, I'm looking at them too, and I'm thinking, crikey, if we can finish above you, I think we'll be okay.
Wicked. Well, I'm going to pass you back to Lee now, because otherwise I'm going to have an accident.
Go on, Mike. Piss off.
Yeah, go on.
Goes to America and he goes for a week. Look, it's just
I know, ridiculous. Never does it in England.
No.
Mo, so looking this season so far to looking where you are now, top of the table, was there, beginning of the season, was there talk of we're pushing for promotion this season, and where you are now, is there talk of it, or do you not talk about it till you're closer to the end of the season, so it doesn't affect the players so much?
I think that, look, I'd be lying, and any manager who's in this position would be lying if they said there's excitement around the football club. Of course there is. Of course there is, but there'll be excitement around 4 or 5 other clubs as well, right? Because we're all in a really good position when it's coming to probably the halfway point of the season. So is there talk of promotion? No, because we don't talk about it. We talk about our aims and our ambitions, but we don't talk about promotion because we have no right to earn. We have to go and earn it. And again, alluding to a little bit earlier in the conversation tonight, look, we had a really good year last year. We were pipped to the post by 2 really, really good football teams. But it would be wrong of us to not think that we're close here. We're close, and we've got a plan for the next step. And absolutely. When we reported back for pre-season in June or July, whenever it was, yes, absolutely. The players and the coaching team and the committee and the supporters, we were all unanimous in terms of, yes, we are going for promotion. That you can't lose in a playoff semi-final on penalties and win 82 points. I think I read somewhere. I think 82 points is the highest ever return in this league of a side not to get promoted, which shows you, by the way, how good Seaford and Forest Row were. 2 really, really good sides. Like we make no. We're not shy about the fact that our ambition is to be better, is to go up, is to do bigger and better things. But we've got to earn it, right? Because as the league, you guys have discussed it last few weeks, there are some good teams in this league, full of good players, full of good managers, with some good budgets as well. Let's not, it's not a dirty word. There are some good budgets in the league, and we're going to have to be good to come out the right side of it. So, no problem with that.
No, nice. Bill, got any questions?
For me, it's simple, Mo. Mo, you going to stay on with the other talk that we do, like the other bits and bobs, or?
Yeah, I'll stay on and have a listen and see if I'm happy to contribute. I will. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Look, for me, Mo, I love you. Like, even though you're top of the table, you're just cracking on under the radar, and it's fucking brilliant, right? Just carry on doing what you do, mate, and carry on driving it, because I think you're a good example to people that think they've cracked it, right? You've always been quite humble, worked on what you ain't got. you always ask the right questions. Like I think you're a top guy, mate. And even Giles, he said he saw you having reffing at Tooting and Mitcham, which cracked me up. That was brilliant. And look, I think for us, I think it's great for you to be on it, like come on here and share. But I think we should bring Mo back on the end of the season if it goes the way it does.
We've got to get that scoop, and when he goes and wins the league.
Yeah, and then when he think touch wood, like everything for you, Mo, right? That you get the job done. But if that happens, then I love to do like a deep dive into your season with you, like what you had to say. There would be moments of desperation. There'd be moments, even if it's all going well, there's still those moments of.
He doesn't blow up though, does he?
What's
he
that?
Never blows up, does he? He doesn't get rattled.
No, like me.
Well, like any of us, but he doesn't. He don't get rattled, does he?
No,
he might get rattled at home. We don't know this, but in his public persona, you never see anyone unrattled.
Yeah, well, speak to my missus. She's just over my shoulder listening into this. She will probably tell you. She'll probably tell you different. But no, look, and also if I may, I know a lot of the guests on the show have said this before, but it's not easy what you guys do, right? Billy, you alluded to the comment that the Loxford chairman made, which, by the way, is his right to make, right? Yeah. He absolutely is.
He has got 100%. Mark's got 100% chance of say that. Do you know what I mean? He is the boss.
Don't make us right. Don't make him wrong. But right either. But they ultimately have conceded all those goals. So it's what it is.
And this is the crux. What you know. What I think it's important that there's a debate to be had. And if I can just close it on this, it's a lesson that I got from my dad actually. My dad said to me from fairly young age. He said the art of debate. Right, the art of debate is if you think you're right, 100%, nobody can change your mind, and you go into a debate with another person and he or she presents an argument to you, you've got to be intelligent enough to dissect that with a cold mind. And if you're emotionally intelligent enough to allow them to change your mind, because that shows where you're at. And I think when I see some of the stuff that you guys put out, right, and I'm learning every day, by the way. Like I might be a football manager, but I learn stuff from podcasts, from what stuff that I read, stuff that's totally nothing to do with football. So I guess what I'm saying, guys, is you do a brilliant job, not just for Sussex football, but just in terms of keeping the conversation alive around non-league football. So got a lot of time for it.
Well, it's about, isn't it? That's what it's about. Isn't it?
Yeah, thank you, mate. We do know. That's what we do. Yeah, no, absolutely. But getting on to the weekend, and now I did say to Mike just before came on, there's a couple of results that I wanted to pick out, and there was something else due to bad weather this weekend. So let's go that first. So
enough weather here, mate.
Well, no, not where you are, mate. It's sunny and the flag's blown in the background. So
God bless the United States.
Yeah. So
you're a NASA or something.
He's in the desert. So as we seen this weekend, there were a couple of games postponed due to waterlogging pitches. And do you think some of these clubs? So again, Arundel was one of them. Do you now think with Arundel, are they going to go on that thing of having 5 or 6 postponed due to bad weather, to what we saw last season where they had to play catch up on so many games, but then still managed to go on that amazing run to the playoffs?
Yeah, look, they're always going to have trouble there with the pitch until one day the Duke's son gives it the green light and says, do you know what this community needs? It needs a 3G pitch. It needs something that you can show a bit of consistency in, because they've got great people at that club, great coaches, great players, great people behind the scene. The problem they haven't got is great drainage. You know, I believe like Uckfield had that problem as well. Billy will tell you that. You know,
it killed me. It was one of the driving factors for me leaving. Like genuinely,
it was that bad that
like it, mate. I couldn't ever ask all my staff. I couldn't but not prepare for the weekend. I had to prepare like a game was going to be on, right? It wasn't just outfield's pitch. Other pitches were at the same time, and it was just a really wet time, completely wet. But every fucking week, like I'll go up there and I'll put my foot on and it me like mush, and I'll just be, and it would ruin my weekend. So like it played a major contributor for me leaving, massive.
Billy, can I just ask you a question on when you recruited your side at the start of the year last year?
Yeah.
Did you recruit with an account for the pitch and the conditions?
No, like and Mo, that was a bit of an issue. So we did a lot of work on the pitch in the summer to make it decent, to make it like so you could pop it a bit, and it was decent. It really was. And then the weather kicks in, the drainage problem that they had. I think they now fixed that part. Played a big factor on the situation. We did kind of change our way and try to make. We were very expansive to start with. It's naivety from me, really. I wanted to be able to bop teams off the pitch, play a fucking box, and be clever, what have you. Then we changed it a bit, and as the season evolved, as we got to like the Christmas time period, and we started like again, obviously they had the Seaford result, and we went away to Oakwood, and we just nicked 1-0 and kept it like tight. And because I felt like at times like we did. If we conceded 2 or 3, it could end up like when we got a man sent off against Arundel when we lost 5-1. And actually, we lost 5-1 to you as well, Mo, if I remember. And like I felt like we needed to be a little bit more mature in our out of possession. So it did change, but that wasn't down to the pitch. That was just down to the factors that were plaguing us. Because my aspirations that year was to finish in the top 5. Everyone thought I wanted to go and win the league. And if anyone's in the league and not thinking who's at the top, like you want to win it, there's no way I don't think you should be really doing the job. You should always dream to be as high as you possibly can. So I set the team up, I recruited based on, I wanted us to be tall, aggressive, county prem quality, all those things. That's what I went for. And I knew that when we went away to places that would be tough in certain pitches and what have you. And then when we went off to 3G pitches, it was like a dream. We played Vardines in the County Cup or the RUR Cup at like League above us. We went and played them, beat them 3-0 at New Haven. When we went to Copthorne and played at Horsham, it was like watching Barcelona. Like we were that sort of team. So it was tough, the transition at time, especially in that winter period, Mo, for sure.
That's fair. Mo, what's Godalming's ground like when bad weather comes in the pitch? Does it hold up or?
Well, I think Billy was very complimentary in his comments a few weeks ago about our gaff. It's it's
Wembley, isn't it, mate?
No, well,
I'm a snob. That's all.
Look, it makes me laugh. And I know the few of the guys that are commenting in the chat this evening. Our pitch is not good, right? Our pitch is not good, but it's ours. Right, it's ours, and we know how to play it, and we use it to our strength. So, it's never going to be conducive for flowing, attractive football. And quite often, I love it when you turn up on a Saturday when you're at home, and you see an opposition player or coach go out there and go, "Oh crikey, this is that." 70% of the battle done, right? They don't want to be at our gaff. No problem. We'll have a right go at you. So that probably gives you an idea of what our pitch is like.
I love that. Wait, Bill, you going to answer that comment?
What one? Didn't see it. Billy, would you be open going back to Upfield? The straight answer is I've not had a phone call, so I'm pretty sure I'm not in their faults.
No, hang on. That wasn't the question.
No, that's the answer.
You just said you haven't had a phone call.
Look, no. I'll be honest. I would love to help them out, but I think I've moved on.
Fair enough.
Yes, fair point.
Good on that one.
Love the club. Love the people there. But yeah, we probably don't align anymore, and it's okay.
That's fair enough.
Shut up, Charlesy. Move on.
Barcelona, big time.
Charlesy.
Another point I want to do this at the moment is Howison Vardinians were able to keep Haywards Heath to a 1-0 win.
Yeah, but look, I wouldn't read into that too much. It's hard down there anyway, playing, and Haywards Heath are a playing side. They got the job. Like sometimes, especially at the top, Mo's found this year, winning 1-0. You just got to get the job done. Some places you just got to go get the job done. It's the same. It's the same argument when you say Stenning only beat Shoreham 4-0, and people go, "No, it's a great result for Shoreham." Whoever will tell you what happened that day, whether they say it was valiant or what, they still got pumped, right? So I just think we sometimes read into that, like for example, when I was at Lancing, we got beat 9-0 by Beckenham, but lost 1-0.
Yeah, beat 9-0, Bill, did you?
Yeah, 9-0. 9-0, Bill.
I would never have known that, mate. Never.
But what I'm saying is, we then played Sittingbourne, who amassed over 100 points.
But you got beat 9-0, didn't you?
No, we got beat 1-0, right?
Oh,
so 1-0 by them. But with that, right? I think who am I saying? But we were worthy of a point or even 3. That's football. Sadly, they are champions elect. That's what happens when you shit. You win games.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying as well. They had a tough game against Wyam midweek as well. Obviously, come up through winners, but you can't. I wasn't at that game. For all we know, they could have had 85% of that game, and good.
Or they could have been defended really well away from home and gone and nicked 3 points. And that's
good. Good teams get results.
Good teams do that. Yeah, it's what it is.
Yeah. Look, I haven't seen a better team than them this year. Not at all.
Fair points from all. And another one to pick out, my third and final point, and then I'll let you guys, if you've got anything you want to talk about, is Mr. Lowell Edwards getting another high-scoring game and a clean sheet. So, what was it? He won 7-0 last Friday, and then he's gone and won 8-0 this weekend. Looking at that, now do you think Lowell's now got his team together to what he wants, or do you think he's just played 2 poor sides?
Look, what was the score last week for Uckfield? 9 or 8-0 as well? Was it 9 against
9? I think, yeah.
And who was that? That was against Loxwood. Yeah.
Yes.
End of the day, you got to beat what's in front of you, and that's fair. They went and got an 8-0 win. Great for the goal difference and gets them a little bit further away from the drop zone. But Uckfield, would you be going back to Uckfield? Well, look, the fact is, I fear for that club massively. You've got seems to be got some really good players playing for their second reserve team, which, by the way, when I went in there, I didn't want a reserve team for this same factor, because you get social players that won't then step up. They're good enough and not stepping up, which is rubbish, in my opinion. It's fucking bullshit. If you're good enough to play county football, now I want to play with my friends, you're just giving them an excuse, right? By having a second team. It's a social team. It's rubbish. That's my opinion on it. And again, I'm going to get shit for this, but I'm going to say how I feel. You've got players like Mitch Pope.
What are you saying? You're saying there's players playing for the second team that are not playing for the first team,
which is mental. You've got players like Mitch Pope, and he's obviously probably and he's a lovely lad, by the way. It's not a knock on him. He is such a cultured player. He was at one of our older players that played 23s football last year because he couldn't overcommit and whatever. He was a little bit unsure if he was going to play for the first team, whatever. But he was class. Great left foot on him, unbelievable. There's probably a few others like that are playing for the seconds, and they're winning 6-2. Whatever, they're going to win games of football, and then you go, great, it's all well and good, but you're playing Mid-Sussex Division 1. Test yourself, lads.
What's your views on that, Mo? Mo, what's your views? Do you have a second team or 23s like that?
Yeah, we have a 23 side.
Do you control who gets picked over there?
Yeah, so I'm fortunate that I have full running of how football operations at the club, and that's probably a different debate around how a club should be run from a football side. Because I remember, I think Giles, he said on here a couple of weeks ago that he runs the whole thing from.
And I see that as well.
I think the gaffer has to. I think the first team manager has to run the first team, the 23s, and have an input into the 18s.
I agree, and I've got to say, I also agree with Bill. I think it's probably a symptom of part of what's wrong with your club if you've got guys in the second team who, for whatever reason, are refusing to play for the first team. That's a problem.
How can you sell it? Right, say this happens.
Problem.
Upfield get relegated this year, right? They get relegated into intermediate football, away from senior football, and their second team win their Division 1 or whatever they're in. And how can you celebrate that as a football club?
Yeah.
Agree. You can't.
You can't.
You've got to be aiming to play for the front side, or you shouldn't be playing.
You shouldn't play.
That's my opinion.
Look,
what that shows is you've got two teams in one club. What you should have is one club. Forget how many it should be one club.
Yeah, 100% you should. And that's why we put in the first team 23s, 18s model, because then we had the 23s. The lads that were too old for the 18s could step into the 23s, or the reserve team players who weren't ready for the first team could still have somewhere to play football at Outfield and then play other football at the weekend on Saturday elsewhere. Then you had an opportunity for first team players that aren't getting enough minutes to then step into the 23s to tick over and keep their minutes ticking. The 18s to test them against a few men. Then you had players coming back from injury that could go and play. And it was just a lovely mix. Like, they've got rid of it because obviously they don't agree with it. So I guess I was on my own thinking that was the right thing to do last year, because as soon as I walked out the door the next year, they completely changed it. Right. But all that does is it turns into a social club.
Yeah.
Oh, Uckfield players need to play for Uckfield. Well, do they? Well, Uckfield is a senior football club. That should be the element. Like it should be like go and play for Ridgewood, or go and play, like, if you're a park footballer, you go and play for bloody I don't know, Three Oaks, whatever, I don't know, somewhere local. Nutley, play for Nutley. If you're a mid-Sussex level football player, you play for Ridgewood. If you're good enough to play for Uckfield, which is only step 6, it's not a massive jump, you play for Uckfield. But then don't just play for Uckfield because you're leaving Uckfield. So we need to set up a second team or a third or a fourth or a fifth. That's in my opinion, that's pub side vibes, right? That's what it is. And again, I am a bit of a football structure snob. So I feel it should be this way. I might not be right. And it might bring them in money. I might have to pay their subs and registration fees, and it might pay the rent for a month. I don't know, right? But for me, in your first team, yeah, Steph played in goal from last year. It was good fun. And like with that, Luke Carter would run the under 23s, and I would go and assist him, like just go and help out, right? But that was, for me, like when you've got a club, like we just lost 8-0. The next post is a big graphic of winning 6-2. Like, the first team just got smashed.
Yeah.
This is a club, by the way, I'm talking about, that I've got a lot of love and respect for. But for me, there's an element of where's the time and effort going? Because it don't feel like, to me, and it's no disrespect to like people like Nick Bignall, people like that who have, again, got a lot of time for. It's like they can't see the wall from their eyes. Like, what is actually going on? Because obviously the players are good enough. Again, I'll say it again, they still got, if you look on their registrations, they've still got a lot of great registered players.
They appointed anyone yet, Bill?
What's that?
Anyone appointed yet?
Couldn't tell you.
I
don't think there is yet. No.
All I know is all I know is a lot of my ex-players who are registered are sitting on the sidelines not playing. So if they're good enough to be, playoff level side last year, some of them in a playoff level side, then why are they not playing? Like, what's happening?
That's fair enough. Actually, quite a good point to ask Mo, actually. And I think we mentioned it last week and the week before as well. But with these big results that are coming in from all over the leagues, do you think there is a change happening in Sussex football? Are teams getting better, or are teams getting poorer, or how would you see it?
I think look, it's difficult for me. My view as the Godalming Town manager is in terms of going to be very from a competitive point of view. So what Copthorne or Loxwood or Uckfield choose to do is their lookout. That's what I'm saying from a competitive perspective. I'm a direct competitor.
Yeah.
But when I look at these clubs, and especially when I look at their managers and the work that these guys are doing for no reward, for no kudos, for often, as we've discussed, abuse quite often. I'm not sure they're often looked after by the right decision makers higher up. So look at Copthorne, right? Mark Pulling is a big figure in Sussex football. I know he's no longer the manager at Copthorne.
He left, didn't he? He left. Great player, great guy.
Great footballer in his time, great manager, still has a lot to offer Sussex football, but has been absolutely hamstrung by his football club. Why Copthorne were still playing Step 6, paying whatever they're paying to hire Horsham is beyond me. And that's a neglect of duty of care to their players, to their supporters, and those players who are going to come after. I think that's poor from those who are higher up at Copthorne. And look, we're playing Copthorne next week. I'm probably going to get daggers next weekend. But
Mo, I agree, mate. Last week they had 11 people watching them, right? And Bill worked it out. It's 450, 500 a game, lad. You know, and how is that sustainable? They've had a couple of reprieves. There's teams like your Westfields, your TD Shipleys, your Rustingtons, your Storringtons, and that they can't go up because they've had reprieves. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like, really.
I think the whole pyramid needs to look at what are we rewarding here? And I think Copthorne have come in the bottom 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3 years, and what's happening to them now, sadly, is a result of that. And all you're punishing is the Copthorne players of the future, right? They should have been Step 7 this year, regrouped, refound their soul a little bit, and then gone from there. That's my opinion.
Yeah, can't agree any more than that.
Yeah, same. I hate reprieves. You're better off promoting the next team up, because there's that's the momentum, and then it gives the other team something to kind of like work to next year to try and go up, rather than, oh yeah, how's last season? Well, we finished bottom, but we're still in the league. Do you want to join us? It's harder to recruit. If they go down, it's like, look, we went down, we're looking to rebuild. What's your ambitions? Well, we want to go up. That was when I went into Uckfield. A lot of people were like, well, what's the ambitions? I was like, look, love to go up first year. Love to. If we don't, we don't. It's not the end of the world. But we're going to build a team that can compete. And then when we go up, hopefully we can take those lads on that journey a little bit. So you can do that if you go down, because you can try and be one of the best in that league, right? But it's been shown this year, like if you look at the 2 that come down, look, Saltdean, Loss will turn it around. Don't get me wrong, but Saltdean and Loxwood, they're languishing in the bottom 6 or 7 or whatever.
I was just going to say, Billy, like I don't disagree with you, but if you look at Uckfield, if you look at Loxwood, if you look at Saltdean, if you look at East Preston, all clubs that have been in the Prem in the last 2, 3, 4 years, and they're all struggling now. Yeah. East Preston being harsh on, like Kev is actually doing a good job, but there's something to be said for those who are sat in the boardroom, who need to understand that the job that they're doing has ramifications for 12, 24, 36 months out. And look, it's easy for me to say, because I'm at a football club where those people in those positions, I think, are doing a great job. They're backing me at every turn. I see what we're going to do in 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But I think sometimes these people don't understand just how important their roles are for the long-term success and sustainability of a football club.
No.
And you get one decision wrong within a month and it could kill you for 5 years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It genuinely could. And I think some of those clubs at the bottom of our league this year are probably suffering from that.
Yeah, well, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? Like, if I don't know this because obviously it's up to them to change it. But if a club like Uckfield goes down, what is next? Look at Howsham. Howsham might finally get back up this year, maybe, but obviously they're having problems with their wanting to put 3G pitch down and what have you over there. But what happens if you do go down? Do you know what actually? Then it becomes harder to recruit. Then you're like in the area. You're not the second, third, fourth choice. You're fifth, sixth, seventh choice because you're intermediate football. It's not easy. It's not easy, and I think I don't know. It is hard. With 3 go down this year, Mo, as well. So down there is going to be horrible for teams. It's going to be horrible. Well, teams might get a reprieve, but probably knowing how it works. But it's not easy.
You'd think there probably will be at least one reprieve, and to move the conversation back to maybe the football side of it.
Yeah,
I've got the utmost respect for the guys and girls who are battling hard for their football club, managers, coaches, players, physios, all the rest of it. But they need some help from the guys and girls in the boardroom.
Oh, without a doubt,
They need some help.
It has to be tied together. And that's
a few maybe aren't getting that help that they deserve.
Yeah,
and they need. I think that's really important.
Yeah, you do need guidance, and you also like one thing I always ask I always got asked of me when I was hiring managers or when I've gone in for interviews for jobs. I always ask, what do you want for your club? It's easy me sitting here going, this is what I do, this is what I think I can deliver, blah blah blah. But actually, what do you want? Because if it's not aligned, I'm not the right person. Or if I think like the club can only be here, and if you turn around and say, well, I want to win the league this year on this budget, you've got to know, you've got to have the objectives and the goals in place, because otherwise, if you don't, I think what happens is it's when you get problems. Or I just find sometimes some of the hiring is lazy, like really, really, really. Oh yeah, he's been around, just give him a job. Or he's been in touch, give him a job. Or oh yeah, he's been here before, or he's been here and everywhere. Rather than actually like really deeply go into it and work it out. But look, one that probably did was like Horsham YM. I don't think anyone expected them to spin it like they have. Like from when ended like before. I'm not going to blow his trumpet too much, but Gilesy, the way he's gone in there.
I expected it.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
No, like. All right, okay. Did you? Okay, Mike. I'm going to change that. Did you expect it before Gilesy went in there? Like you saw where the club was.
No.
Like, did you expect someone to go in there and go right? Going to battle through this year, finish mid-table, then we're going to next year go and challenge at the top.
I remember speaking to him when he left the Loxford job when that happened.
Yeah.
And he said, "This is what I want to do." I didn't know him from Adam. He come on podcast, helped me out.
He was your first one, wasn't he?
Second Dugout Diary. He was
second.
Right? Second one. Instantly connected. He was real,
yeah,
right?
Nice guy,
he said, "Look, I couldn't do what I couldn't do at Loxford because of X, Y, Z. Okay, that's in the past. But this is what I want to do with a club like YM." And I was like, "Really? They haven't been doing much in a minute and that, whereas the other Horsham are doing bits left, right, and centre." And I thought, that's a big ask. I come down to see him pre-season. Obviously, how they went, I think they finished their best finish in 5, 7, maybe 10 years, whatever it was, last year, comparing where they come up from. I saw them pre-season, I thought, hang on a minute, it looks a bit different. How they recruited and that. They played against Bromley, albeit like Bromley.
I was at the game.
Yeah.
I was at the Bromley game, yeah.
And it was like 6-7-0, something like that, off the top of my head.
6-0, yeah.
And I thought, and I remember saying, don't sleep on them, yeah, because they'd improved so much. it wasn't until I went away and actually saw the prep, the scouting network, the itinerary, everything they do behind there, that I thought, hang on a minute, they're trying to take it to a step 4 level.
Yeah, they are.
5, yeah. Okay. Can they sustain that? They can probably sustain that, but then they're going to need backing from the club.
I mean, financially, there's no point beating around the bush. They will need a lot of financial help. But like even
100%.
At the moment, though, like Horsham are very disliked in Sussex football.
But if teams are disliked, why are they disliked? Are they doing something right? Are they getting up someone's back? Do you know what I mean? And
no, I know it, but like I kind of feel like it's not really their fault. Like the Forest Rose thing, 2 o'clock kickoff. Then this week, 77th minute, and the floodlights.
The lights go out. Right?
I feel like it's just. I feel like a setup. Jeremy Beadle's going to jump out at some point on Giles.
Well, there's one arm.
Oh yeah,
did he have a little arm?
Yeah, little one like that.
Did he have a little one?
I just feel that's going to happen because, like, it just. What's next week? Next week's going to happen. Lino's going to go down with cramps. Right? They're going to go. Can we have a linesman?
Look, I love
all of us going to step up. So I
love those Horsham boys. Yeah, look, they've had a strange run over the last few weeks. Yeah. You know, from their end, they're probably thinking, hang on, the world and his wife are against us. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Probably everyone else's end, they're like, fucking deal with it.
I want them to do well. I like that. I like what Giles is about. He's honest. Like he's proper. Like, you've got Mo, who is like, you know,
no one speaks bad about
Mo's the same. And then you've got Gilesy, but they're both like they both say it how it is. Like
they're both winners.
It's a different, it's a different way, but they're the sort of people that you want to kind of converse with because they are. And he's right. But no one likes you, Gilesy. It's fine.
That's right.
You're more hated than me.
To be fair, the YM admin is, and I know the admin is. He's pushing for admin of the year because he's stoking up. But at the end of the day, people are talking, aren't they? They're talking about the Stennings. They're talking about the Hayward Chiefs. They're talking about the YMs. They're talking about the Godalmins. They're talking about the Infinities. People are talking about Sussex football.
Yeah.
Right? Rightly or wrongly, Mo, it's good to debate, isn't it? It's good to have shows like this where you can come on and debate and be open about it.
Yeah.
Let me just a couple of interesting things you've said there. Look, I've known Gilesy a little while now, right? Gilesy for me, he's above the level as a man and as a coach and as a manager. And Billy, there's something you said that's really interesting. Gilesy and I, we both want the same thing. We're both aspiring for the same thing, admittedly at different levels, step 5 and step 6. But what I love about this game is there's more than one way to skin a cat, right?
Yeah, I agree.
So Gilesy is outspoken. Gilesy will wear his heart on his sleeve. Gilesy will tell you how it is. If you like him, he don't give a monkeys, right? But he's a winner. He's passionate. He's in the detail. I do all of those things, but in a very different way. And ultimately, going back to the rationale behind this podcast, is that's why we love the sport, right? Because you've got different characters who ultimately want the same thing in football, is to win. That's what we do it for, to win. But there's different ways of doing it, and that's the debate. That's the conjecture. That's why we love doing this, right? That's why it's fun. So,
yeah, agree.
Exactly that.
Lee, not 10, but we're over our hour slot. And I know you've got to get your shower in, get your PJs on.
Is he all right?
Sorry.
I've got to admit, I am feeling a bit tired. I'm going to have to do my Horlicks in a minute just to get myself settled.
Mate, you're a pony. What the hell is that with you?
What?
There's 800 people watching, and you're already getting the Horlicks in. You're getting the hot water.
He's ready for bed.
I've got to get it. I've got to get it prepared. That's the thing. That takes time. I'm getting older now. But no,
I'm going to apologise, Mo. I'm sorry about this, mate. I'm sorry about it.
It's all right. What time is it out there? 2:00 in the afternoon. You got the rest of the day with you.
Yeah,
I've got to watch I'm a Celebrity.
It's 5.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
2:05. It's 2:05, pal.
2:05, and he's 17.
And Man United won today. Yes, get in.
Well, we will say, mate, Mo, it's completely up to you, mate, if you want to stay on a little bit longer or if you want to make a move, because we've got a few more things to talk about. But that is completely up to you.
Stay on, Mo. Stay on. Come on. Stay on.
Listen, I'm with you to the bitter end. So I'll
look at that. See?
Well,
that's why nobody
hates
him. No one
this
hates him, mate.
This is a way to bring in. Billy, do you want to talk about your game today and how it went?
I've got 4% left of my battery, so 3% now. So we're gonna have to be quick. So my women's team, unfortunately, we lost today in the cup against Hackney. It was our own downfall, if I'm completely honest. I'm not going to put anyone out here, but individual errors for 3 goals. The first was catastrophic, and we started really well, but every shot was at the keeper, and we just didn't. Yeah, I did suffer red cards. Yeah, and then it was fine. We were 3-0 down at half time. It is what it is, and then we come out second half, and it's like, look, for me, losing, I don't mind losing, but if we lose, at least lose with heart. Show that you want to play, show you want to be here. Do you know what I mean? And we went out second half, changed our shape, looked exciting, got one back, should have got another one back, had enough chances to go, to be honest, to draw or potentially even win the game. The keeper made an unbelievable save with 15 minutes to go. Georgia Tibble swiveled and entered the box, bang, had a shot. It was tipped over the bar, unbelievable save. Then about 10 minutes to go, one of our players back to goal, goes to get the ball just before the edge of the box, gets clattered behind in the box. Blatant penalty, not given. End of the game, we've lost 3-1, is what it is. I'm actually not I am bothered. I don't like losing, but I'm not actually emotional about it. I was having a nice chat with their gaffer. Walk over, shake the referee's hand, and go, look, ref, you had the better view than anyone, definitely better view than me. Can you just let me know why that wasn't a penalty? And he said, she won the ball. I turned around and said, I get that, but to win that ball, she had to go through her. She clattered her. She went, no, she didn't. She went round her. And I went, that's bollocks. I shook the lino's hand, turned round, red card. It was that simple. I got sent off for that. I lost my head afterwards. I said some things I do regret, but before the red card, I was all right.
Bill, did you deserve it?
No, I didn't.
Would you have given it?
I'm going to go in.
If you were reffing?
No, of course not. I said it's bollocks. If I said you're a fucking cunt, yeah, 100%. I said it's bollocks. I laughed, said it's bollocks, shook the lino's hand, and then turned around to a red card. It's an ego trip. I
reckon you're playing to rights, lad.
All right, Mike. Cheers. I'm on 1%, so I'm going to go. All right, gents. But Bill. I'll see you all later anyway.
See you later, mate.
Love you, Bill. Billy, word.
You got to love.
Sent off today.
Bill. Yeah. Mo, have you ever been sent off in a game or books or anything like that?
Another boring answer for you, Lee. Never been sent off, never been booked. So
that's a record for a manager.
He's the Gary Lineker of the SCFL.
Yeah, no, that's because I mean some games.
I'm a ref as well. I'm a qualified ref. I ref on the Southern Combination Under 18 League. So and the reason I started reffing, by the way, was to give me a better vantage point as a manager. So. Okay. I get it. I understand what they go through. And a big part of my weekly prep, I always look at who the ref is.
Do you really do that?
You do that? I always look at who is it? What games have they done in the last month? And what's our experience of them before? Normally, obviously, we know who they are. And I tend to have a very good rapport with the refs in our league. And for me, it's all psychological, right? These guys are human beings. You give them shit, they'll give you shit back.
But Mo, you like me you do public speaking, don't you?
I do.
You understand the psychology of how you represent yourself across, yeah? So do you reckon that helps?
100%, Mike. Look, you know me a little bit by now. It's so basic. If you're nice to people, they'll tend to be nice back to you. Like, it's not rocket science, you know. If you're respectful and you're dignified and you're
agreed,
you're largely tend to get that back, right? And I found
treat others how you would want to be treated.
100%. Like, if you holler and shout and abuse and kick off at officials, they're going to give you nothing back, right? There's that, but B, it's in my nature to be like that anyway. But even my coaches say to me, "You're too nice, right? Come on, man, say something." Like every week, my coaches say to me, "Mo, seriously, are you going to stand there and say nothing?" Oh yeah, I'm going to. Why? Because they don't want to give us anything. So, and I feel I err on the side of, actually, do you know what? The officials in our league, they turn up, they get 60, 65 quid. It's nothing for the amount of abuse you get. Generally, it's nothing.
Mo, I absolutely agree, right? And this is interesting because I'm potentially we're under our brand and network, we're going to be doing a referees podcast, okay, with a step 4 referee who's just come back from injury, very, very good, well respected. I won't name him. Well respected referee.
Yeah.
And he's been told, because he hasn't passed the fitness test after having an ACL done, he has to basically sit on the sidelines. He can't earn any money or anything like that. Yet there's referees that are 1, 2 steps under him that have not passed the physical test, haven't been asked to do it. You know, they haven't been off the shelf, but they haven't been asked to do it after, and they're still getting games, you know. And I felt really sorry for him because he was putting it out on the socials saying, "Look, I'm available. And they're saying, "No, you can't," you know. I get it. There's not enough refs around. I get it. They don't earn enough for what, or maybe the abuse they get. But there has to be some accountability. Yeah?
Yes.
If you're in a job, you're paid to do a job. Okay? If you don't do that job, then there should be ways of looking at how you can't do your job. But when there's people sitting on the sideline that are forced to sit on the sideline and that, you've got to ask yourself a question. I would love, this is my shout, I would love the Sussex County FA to come on one of the podcasts that we do under the network, yeah? And just have an open debate. Not a stitch-up job, not a hatchet job, just have an open debate, yeah? Because they seem to be very unengaging in the way, you know?
I think, Mike, you've hit the nail on the head. I think there's probably 1 or 2 refs I could send you away that I think would be great on here, and I think they would come on here. So absolutely, I think that you're right. There needs to be accountability. 100% there does. But I think as a sport, those who are involved actively as coaches, as managers, as players, look, I'm probably going to get pelters for this. That's fine. We've got to look at ourselves first. So when I send my team out, when I send my team out on a Saturday and we don't get a result, I spent 95% of my time in the week after trying to work out, well, why didn't we get a result? Why did my goalkeeper not do? Why did my centre forward not put it in from 5 yards, right? Yeah, of course I'll look at the referee's performance, and of course it's natural, they're part of the game. I'll speak to a referee after the game on a Saturday or Tuesday, or whatever it is, and I'll ask the question. I guess all I'm saying, guys, is that look at yourselves first. If you're a good coach or a good manager, you've got to hold yourself to account as well, right? And
Absolutely.
And an official, take the official out of the equation. Did you do enough? If you did enough and the official still impacted the game, no problem. But if you've not done enough, it's not the official. It's you. It's your team.
Do you know? I couldn't 100% more agree with that. You know, it's easy. I've been there. It's easy to lose a game, and the first thing is you blame the official. Yeah, you don't take accountability. I made the wrong decision. I didn't get the setup right. I didn't think about this pattern of play that was going to happen. Yeah,
Exactly.
It's if after that, if humbly you've sat there and gone, do you know what? I did, but I couldn't influence the decision that they made. Thank you, that they made in there. You know,
what have you got now?
It's got some olives, mate. You know, you know me. But if you couldn't influence that decision and that was out of your area, and that was a decision that was made out of your control that you think's wrong, that's different. Okay, but you are right 100%, Mo. It is so easy at times for the easy blame to be the ref. That is why I'd love the Sussex County FA to come on and just talk to us about the problems you face. Just talk to us about how you judge and review and rate these refs and that, or why some get these games, why some don't get those games. Yeah, you know, be upfront. It's not a hatchet job. We want to be there. You know, that's what I'm saying. But I believe for that it's a closed bag with them, and that is what it is. You know, so but you are 100% right, Mo. And these are lovely fat olives. Look at those. You know what I mean? Beautiful. Stuffed as well. Stuffed.
As Mike enjoys his olives there, I think what we will do, we will call it there for this week. And for your Sunday vibe, hope you enjoyed it. Mo, just want to say a massive thank you for coming on, being a guest tonight. And as Billy said earlier, would love to get you on at the end of the season, along with two other managers. So we do a big end of season podcast and just go over the season, how it's gone, and go from there. If you're up for doing that, mate.
Always support your brand. Always support the work you're doing. Anytime, no problem. And it's been a pleasure to be on tonight as well. So thank you for having me.
No,
Mo, you are one of the county leagues and Sussex footballs. Good, great guys. A fantastic mind of the game, an absolute advocate of how the game should be played in the right manner before winning. Yeah, Mo, outside of football, and that, you're a good, great guy that does things in his community with his community. I know that a lot. The people here don't know that. Okay, so thank you for being a supporter. Thank you for what you do, not only within Godalming Football Club, but the Sussex football community yourself. And thank you also for being a supporter from day one, lad. I mean it.
No. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
No problem. Mike, I think we'll end it there, mate.
Yeah, another 976 of you watching now. So that is obviously fantastic. Yeah, thanks for the support that you've given Lee for his pilot shows that he's doing in there. I know he's got a long-term vision of this, and yeah, like I said, guys, get involved every Sunday. Make sure he's in bed by 10. In bed by 10, Lee Penn.
See you later, guys.
See you later.